thank you for joining us.
Pleasure.
We were just keen to sort of pick your brain about your experience in relation to seeking some financial advice, and we're keen to sort of get you to share with us, what's been your journey so far.
Yeah, so we've spoken to a few financial advisors over the years. We've probably had 3 or 4 different advisors at different times. Most of them were conversations where we would sit down and have the initial briefing, then we'd set up some insurances, and then we'd catch up once a year to go through are the insurances still current. But what we'd never had was the strategy around structuring the business, the trust, income flows, and then forecasting what does the next 5, 10, 15 years look like for you guys as a family. So that was the thing that I think was most valuable and most interesting. It certainly felt like when we first sat down, going back over all of that work again, setting up insurances, I sort of that sense of redoing all the stuff in the past, but I had a feeling it would be different this time, and it was. Very quickly, the conversation shifted towards strategy. What's the future looking like? And that was really, for a financial planner, talking about the plan was really what we're looking for. But in many cases, what we got was, let's shuffle the bureaucracy and make sure your insurances are okay for a rainy day, which is valuable, but if that's where it stops, that's of course very frustrating. So that had been our experience up until working with you and Rob.
So having the depth of skills in the financial planning firm to be able to take you all the way through. So I know we've done a lot of work around, we started off sorting out the immediate things like the insurances and the debt and restructuring debt and doing all that sort of stuff. But then, one of the key drivers for you was to really understand what your goals were as far as you personally and in your business, and then really set a pathway to actually allow you to achieve the goals. How has that sort of shaped up for you now?
Well, I think the biggest difference is we got advice from you that wasn't just financial advice, it was, in a sense, life advice, but more business advice. We got more strategy around tax planning from you guys than we got in our accountants in the previous decade. And that was probably the most interesting thing that I wasn't expecting, was for you to look holistically at our trust setup, our business setup, how it was all working, and not just ask, is it working from a tax perspective, but is it also going to support your lifestyle in the future? And that was the most valuable stuff, was it wasn't just our goals financially as a family, but looking at how the business played into that. So that was the stuff, and having you guys with skills across a broad range of areas of a business was really helpful. It wasn't that you weren't just insurance experts, you weren't just good at debt. You had the skills to be able to look at the business advice as well. And even though it may not have been the advice that an accountant would give in terms of the way they classify that sort of accounting-driven advice, it was far more valuable than the advice we'd ever got from an accountant. So that was incredibly useful.
Now, I take my hat off at this point and say we're not accountants, and our job is to very much work in with accountants to pull together the strategy so that the accountant's on board with it, that we're all on board with it. How have you found that experience? Is it just actually, and I know we changed accountants as part of this process. Tell us about that for you.
I feel like we got into the Rob and Justine vortex. Like, all of your people became our people, but that's helpful. Like, your accountants, the people you could advise us there. As we're talking about investment properties, your recommendations of people from that perspective as well. And unless there's high trust, that can feel a bit like you're signing everything away to one person or one group of people. But because the trust is there, it's worked brilliantly. I mean, from an accounting perspective, having an accountant that you know, that you work closely with, means that at the end of financial year and throughout the year as well, it's really easy to make sure we're on track, because it's not that we've got 2 different wheels spinning. We've sort of got to try and bring together. You guys are already in contact, so that's been incredibly valuable. Yeah.
Now I know Hailey would say to you, I think when the first time I rolled in the door, she said, I have to fess up front, I really hate this kind of stuff. It's not her thing. How have you found her through this process and sort of getting on board with that? Has that been any easier, or would you still say she's in the same camp?
Still not her thing, but the thing that's been valuable is that she sees more about how what we're doing in these discussions connects with life and a plan for our family. Whereas in the past it was a lot more of the insurance or compliance driven stuff. So for her, even though she doesn't love to sit down and look at spreadsheets or understand the cash flow stuff really in depth, she's at least comfortable enough and excited enough about knowing, okay, what does the bottom line mean for our family? And that's what we've gotten to really quickly, repeatedly. So for her, she's much more willing to engage and has enjoyed the process of hanging out with you guys and getting to know you and getting your perspective on not just financial stuff, but just life in general. You guys are a couple of years ahead of us in terms of family and all that sort of stuff, so that's been really useful too.
And I know, you're incredibly busy running around the countryside, you're an author, you're busy writing books, and you're busy speaking in lots of different venues. How has that financial advice and financial plan played out for you in a practical day-to-day basis? and a support role?
Yeah. In honesty, it's just a peace of mind thing, knowing that it's sorted. I don't really think about it much, and I'm probably like a lot of people who they're good at what they do, but the financial stuff is not front of mind. It's not what floats your boat. And so I don't spend a lot of time thinking about it, but knowing it's sorted frees me up to do the stuff that I'm good at.
Okay.
So it doesn't really give me a sense of purpose that I otherwise wouldn't have, because the financial side is a part of what gets me excited about what I do. I mean, it is lucrative and it's profitable and all that stuff, but for me, that's just the end result. For me, I actually just love what I do. So I'm more focused on that's the delivery of what I do in front of audiences that I love.
Yes.
But then knowing that as long as I just keep doing the stuff that I can do, at the back end of it, the financials are sorted, is a great feeling. It's a really good feeling.
And I would have thought one of the major differences of back-to-back looking after you compared to probably what you've had on the past is the review process.
Yep.
Can you talk to us about how you find that?
The review process has been just useful to, I guess, make sure we're on track and get a sense of how we're progressing. One of the things I often work with clients around when it comes to staying focused is, progress is the key to perseverance. You don't stick at stuff, you don't feel like you're making progress. And so for us, that's certainly the case as well. It's hard to stay enthusiastic unless you feel like you're actually taking steps toward where you want to get to. So the review process has been really helpful from that perspective, just to make sure we're on track and get a sense of quantifying our progress each year. And that's been really encouraging.
Good. And I know, you can't pick up any form of media at the moment and not realise there's a Royal Commission on, and financial planners are well under scrutiny, and where the direction of the industry is headed is probably has a bit of a cloud over it. What's your advice for people out there thinking, do I go and seek financial advice? What's the value? Is it something I should bother with? What's your feeling on that?
All I would say is look at the people who have done well financially and ask the question, what have they done that's allowed them to be in their position at age 50 or 60 or 70? And in most cases, it would be the influence of someone along the way who gave them good advice and good coaching, good mentoring. And then also look at the people, look at your parents, look at your aunties, your uncles, people who are a few years ahead of you, and say, do I want the financial situation they've got? And in most cases, the answer will be probably not. And so, okay, well, what's the key difference between what I do want and what I don't want? Often it's going to be advice and coaching. And it doesn't need to be a financial advisor, but it's a smart place to be. And certainly for you guys, the experience has been incredibly valuable. We've referred you to quite a few people now for that very reason, is that there's a sense of great trust. You are credible, you're capable, you've got the team to work with. And so from my perspective, it's an absolute no-brainer to get advice. But the first point to start with is look at what you're doing, is it working? And if you keep on the trajectory you're on, where are you going to be in 30 years' time?
Nothing changes, nothing
Correct.
changes.
And for us, we were doing well financially, and we probably would have been okay, but I think that there are a lot of things that we didn't know what we didn't know.
Yeah.
So we hadn't set stuff up that were opportunities that we were missing. So that's where I think it's incredibly valuable. And I think the next few years, you're right, it's going to be a tough time for the industry, but in a sense, it's never been better for good financial advisors.
Yeah.
Because there'll be a shakeout.
Yeah.
There'll be a lot of advisors who will be forced to leave for one reason or another, and the industry eventually will, I think, get probably the stature and credential it deserves.
Yeah, agreed. Well, we love having you as a client and love having Hailey as a client as well, and we love taking care of you. So thank you for sharing with us today.
My pleasure.